Today, we're looking to storm off in the historic format with the God of Thunder himself, Thor. Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the hottest in budget deck technology. So without further ado, join me today in the historic format as we are looking to storm off quite literally with the God of Thunder himself and hopefully burn out our opponent all in one fell swoop with a deck that I'm simply calling Thor's Thunderstorm. Thor's Thunderstorm, as the name implies, is utilizing the key brand new card from the Marvel set, Thor God of Thunder, and utilizing his unique ability to hopefully, as we storm off, spell sling, we can burn out our opponent or quite literally bolt our opponent until we can score our victory. If this deck looks a little familiar, this is very similar to the live stream version of the Ruby Storm deck we did in Timeless a couple months ago, but that one didn't quite pop off as much as I thought it was going to. So thanks to the God of Thunder himself, we're going to see if we can try to tweak the deck just a little bit and tone it down, but still make it quite strong for the historic format, where honestly I think the deck fits perfectly fine. And if you're the kind of player that actually wants to get right to the gameplay and see how it actually all goes off, I will show you on screen right now the quick little timestamp that you want to jump to if you want to get right into the action. But otherwise, for those of you that actually want to see how the deck is all put together, stick around for just a few moments and I'll break it down for you. Now that you have an idea of what the deck is trying to do, let's go ahead, let's talk about the deck more in depth. So we'll talk about specifically, first off, the key piece and the star of the show, Thor God of Thunder. As you can see here, Thor God of Thunder is going to be a 5 mana, 5/5 legendary creature, god, warrior, hero. He has flying, and it says when Thor enters, exile target equipment, instant, or sorcery card from your graveyard. Until the end of your next turn, you can play that card. And then also, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Thor deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. Thor is also a little on the expensive side, so in order to help him out with that, we do need, of course, some cards that'll help us cheapen the cost of our spell slinging and also help us generate some mana along the way. So in the 3-drop slot, we'll utilize Blazing Fire Extinguisher here. So this is going to be a card that enters prepared, and then with the Seething Song side, for 3 mana, you can generate 5 mana. However, with a couple other cards, we can hopefully then cheapen the cost of even that instant ability to then get some more value off of it. Burgi, God of Storytelling, is also another god we added to the deck here. This legendary creature god, whenever we cast a spell, allows us to add red mana. If you want to, you can also play it on the legendary artifact side. Not too often you're going to want to do that, but sometimes it can be helpful in a pinch if you have to kind of grind out your deck just a little bit more than usual. Finally, in the 2-drop slots here, we will also have Raw Monsoon Mage here. This allows us to make all of our instant sorceries cost 1 less to cast. And however we start spell slinging, at any point we start flipping coins with it. And if we lose the flip, we do end up dealing damage to ourselves by 1 for each one we fail to flip for. However, if we win the flip, at any time if you do so, you can choose to then exile Rawl and flip him into his Planeswalker side, meaning he becomes Rawl Leyline Prodigy. We played this card before on its own in its own standard Storm deck. However, for this time around, we just use him as a piece that supports Thor himself. If he flips, take up 1 to make all of your instant sorceries, cast 1 less to cast, take 2 down to then deal 2 damage, divided as you like among 1 or 2 targets, and then however, if you manage to get all the way to 8, say if you manage to spell sling that far, you can then however then minus 8 to exile the top 8 cards of your library, and you can cast any one of them for free. But generally speaking, if you want consistency with the deck, that's where you throw in Ruby Medallion here. Just simply put, it just allows all of our red spells to cost 1 less to cast. Moving on to, of course, the key pieces we do need to sling to make sure Thor can do its thing. We want to, of course, do some pseudo ramping and card draw, so we'll have Strike It Rich here. This creates 1 treasure token, and you can flash it back for 3 to create another treasure token from the graveyard. Manamorphose is perfect for a deck like ours because you can then use this to basically generate 2 mana of any color combination and then draw another card off of that. And then finally, we have 2 copies of basically the same card here, Reckless Impulse and Ren's Resolve. Sorcery Speed for both of these cards. However, they allow you to exile the top 2 cards of your library, and until the end of your next turn, you can play those cards. And then finally, we'll have in the 3-drop slot here, Flick a Coin at instant speed, deal 1 point of damage to any target, make a treasure token, and draw another card. And then also from the Marvel set, Hex Magic here, an arcane sorcery that allows you to exile all cards from your hand. Then you can draw that many cards. Until the end of your next turn, you may also play those cards exiled this way. You can then exile basically your entire hand and use that to put off to the side if you're ready to storm off with Thor himself. As far as your mana base is concerned, we are going to be keeping this as simple as possible because we are literally mono red, and of course this is a budget deck. So 15 mountains straight up and then 4 copies of Barbarian Ring. You tap this, however, and you will have to deal 1 1 point of damage to yourself, but if you do manage to make Threshold here, you can then sacrifice the land for 1 additional red mana to deal 2 damage to any target. Keep in mind, however, to activate Threshold, you have to have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. For those of you that are fans of Best of 3, while I technically wouldn't recommend this kind of deck for Best of 3, if you do want to give it a shot, here's what I'd recommend for you for your sideboard. Tormod's Crypt is going to be a free roll for us to exile any target player's graveyard. We have Chain Lightning here to deal 3 damage to any target. However, if your opponent can't afford it, they also can redirect that lightning back to you, so be aware of that. We have Return the Favor here. If you want to, you can use this to copy an instant sorcery spell or activated ability or even triggered ability to then add new targets or redirect a target spell or ability to a single different target. Twin Inferno can kind of do the same thing, however, with the copying of instant sorceries, but ideally we have a single copy of this to give any one of our creatures double strike until end of turn, just in case this Thor needs to just do some damage himself. Untimely Malfunction can also use to be redirecting spells here, or use this to destroy an artifact, or make sure that 1 or 2 target creatures cannot block for a single turn. Call Unprofessional is mostly just here to then turn off life gain shenanigans, so make sure players can't gain life, and then you can also deal 3 damage to any target with this spell. Empty the Warrens if you do need to go wide at any given point here. If you do manage to storm off, bring this in, and you can start creating 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. And again, if you can make extra copies of this, you can then go wide with goblins out of nowhere. Finally, the only other card in the deck is going to be Spreading Mist Insurrection here. So for 5 mana, sorcery speed, gain control of target creature you don't control, and then untap that creature, giving it haste. So you can use this to steal a bunch of stuff after spell slinging just a couple of times. But otherwise, that is Thor's Thunderstorm for you in a nutshell, everyone. So, of course, let's get to the more exciting part of today's video. Let's go ahead, let's take this deck into the best of 1 of historic format. Let's play some matches, and let's see how well the deck can do. But before we continue, if you do like any of the content that I do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content. You can support me monthly for a small amount on Patreon, where I have all of my extended bonus footage posted. We also have a Redbubble spot where you can buy merch like stickers and shirts, or for free, all you can just do also is just join our growing community on Discord. Your support helps keep this channel going. All links are in the details below. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can we use the power of the God of Thunder, Thor himself, to burn out our opponents? Well, we don't have Thor in hand, but we do have Birchie, another one of our gods that we can use. Ruby Medallion, which is actually good, so we also have a way to cheapen our costs and also a way to generate mana. As long as they stay on the field, we should be good to go. Okay, get the mountain down first. Okay, Sliver Hive. Oh, opponent's gonna be playing with slivers? No! That's disgusting. Alright, it's okay, everyone. We'll still find a way to get around this no matter what. Start with the Ruby Medallion. So at this point, the whole game plan is we just need to slowly just build up everything. We should be able to just go off. Okay, 2 predatory slivers. We build it to 17. Okay, we got Rawl. That's not bad either. So with that, play Burgie. Play Rawl. We generate a mana. We will Reckless Impulse. So we can slowly start doing our thing here. Okay, what do we do? Okay, we get pinged. Still exile 2 cards. Okay, ooh, Hex Magic. That's actually not too shabby either. Okay, Hex Magic. Okay, we exile our other things here. Still fizzled, but that's okay. Draw 3 new cards. Okay, so from here, let's see, we will Strike It Rich. Nice. Ooh, okay, nothing yet. Come on, deck. At least we're generating mana, so you can kind of see the combo does manage to work. Okay, ooh, great, okay. We will flip Rawl now. So he's up to 6 already, which is great. You don't want to get zapped? We can now tick up again. Friends Resolve. Okay. We are doing it. It's actually what you want the deck to do.
Oh yeah. It's all coming together.
Flick a coin. Ping our opponent. Generate more mana. Okay. We actually now are slowly starting to do our thing. Even without Thor, we can actually go off here. Okay, we got another Rawl. Okay. And then, let's see. Well, now we're at what we really want, which is extra mana. Friends Resolve again. Alright. Man, where's Thor at? We need Thor in order to finish this off. Okay. Blazing Fire Singer. Okay, that's not too bad either. Okay, Blazing Fire Singer, sure. Okay, generate. Okay, so from here, we will... Seething Song. Oh man, we're going off like crazy. Okay, now we have plenty of mana to do our thing. Come on, deck. Come on. Where's Thor? We need him. Still fizzling. Okay. Okay, Fire Stinger. Okay. We fizzled.
Well, this stinks.
Well, I mean, I guess at the very least we'll just play the last roll. Okay. All that mana. But now at least we have everything we need. Striking Sliver, okay. Okay, they do not, okay. Well, there's Thor. Okay, so we have Thor, which is great, but now we're kind of in a clunky spot here because I would like for us to actually get now one,
Power couple.
literally just one source to go off. We need like one. Okay. I think we got this. So let's get the Rens resolved. Okay, this is now where the fun really begins, everyone. Let's do this. Okay, so hopefully we do not fizzle here. Come on, deck. Show me some love. Seething Song. This should now give us all the mana we need. We're just going to go straight to face. Don't even bother with the creatures. Flip. Ping ourselves. That's okay. We generate all the mana. Rens resolve. Come on, deck. Ping away. Okay, flip. We're not going to flip him. We're just going to keep him as is. Oh, actually, wait. I just messed that up. Okay. We'll keep the old one still. And we fizzled again. Wow, we got Thor again? Oh, Dak, don't do this to me now. We're so close to going off here. I guess we'll do the Barbarian Ring. Sack that, so at least get a little bit more value. So dump all those lands. We don't need them anyway. Since our opponent's playing with slivers, the only good news now is we probably don't have to worry about any spot removal. No, but they can ping away Brawl here.
Watch the machinery.
Dang, I was hoping we were actually going to be able to ultimate next turn, but we're now kind of in a goofy spot. Pick up. Play that other mountain. Might as well go straight to face. Not how I wanted to do this deck. Jeez, we have all the ways to cheapen our costs, and we cannot get down a single, and I really do mean it, we literally are missing a single copy of any one of our cards.
I can weather. Watch the
We just
machinery.
need one instant or sorcery. Any instant or sorcery to hopefully just begin the chain again. Opponent swings. And they swing. At this point, actually, we don't need Rawl, so we'll just let him go. Rawl goes bye-bye. Sorry, Rawl. Okay, Burgie. Well, actually, this is not too shabby, so here's how we could do this. Play the mountain. We'll flip on the alternate side of Burgie, which does count, so we can burn out our opponent still. Down to 5. Come on, deck. So for here, discard our last mountain. Come on. Oh, opponent gave up right there. Okay, well, we were about to just hopefully win right there, but, I mean, you saw what we were trying to do, everyone. It was clunky there at the start, but we managed to somehow strangle just enough to get that done. All right, there we go. Okay, my fire friends, here we go. Can the power of Thor, the God of Thunder, help us storm off and get our victory? Well, from here, what we have is we have plenty of mountains, which is good. 2 Rens Resolve Reckless Impulses. We have ways to draw cards. That's the good thing. We just need our actual payoffs somewhere along the lines. Okay, opponent did some mulliganing there, so that kind of helps us out a little bit, right? Okay, we'll play our mountain and pass the turn. Okay, plains. Luminarch Aspired. Okay, so humans? Okay, well, we'll see if that's something to worry about in a bit. Rens Resolve to start digging through our deck. Flicker Coin's not bad. Not ideal, but okay. Luminarch Aspired number 2. Okay. They start putting counters on stuff. Ugh, down to 16 already. Okay, great. We got a Ruby Medallion. That's actually good. So for now, though, this is a little clunky, but we got to slow down our opponent. So, Pirate, number 1 down. Okay, we got to discard a card, though. So that's not what I want to do, but we don't have a choice. So we'll throw away the Barbarian Ring. Okay. So, Ruby Medallion this turn. We go to 11. Opponent hasn't played anything yet. Interesting. Okay. Play the mountain. Ruby Medallion. Okay, so that means we play Rawl. So this is actually where things are fun. So for that, we will...
My genius is rotting.
Manamorphose. Okay, do we flip him now? We'll decline, because we actually do need the cost to cheapen. 2 red mana. There we go. Blazing Fire Singer. So this has to be our turn to rally back. Okay, so here we go. Seething Song. We generate mana. There we go. Ping ourselves, we go to 10. We generate 5, that's good. Okay, so now we're back in this fight. Ping our opponent. Come on, deck. Still there, that's okay. Ooh, opponent has to think. We might be able to storm it off here. It will be tight, but in theory, we can actually stabilize here. Oh, there we go. God of Thunder. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. So from here, let's actually Manamorphose again. I don't know if we're going to be able to fully pull it off here, but we're going to try. Okay. Ping our opponent. We're not going to bother with the Luminarch Aspirant because we can just let the Fire Sting, or just get away with surviving. Okay. Decline still. Okay. Generate 2. There we go. Okay. Reckless Impulse. Ping again. Yes. Thor doing his thing. We'll still go to 8. We are in a bit of a risky spot, but we have to do it if we want this combo to work. So it's either all or nothing. I mean, we're still a ways away, but looks... Okay, our opponent's still there. Okay, so let's see. We will Hex Magic. Hit our opponent again for another 3. Literal bolt there. Again, go to 7. So we won't get too much value off of it, but that's okay. Okay, so from there, that's pretty much it for this combo, everybody. So, the hope next turn is, if we manage to pull this off, Burgi can then come in, generate for us the mana we need. We should be able to go off from there. Okay, opponent swings. Block with the Fire Singer. Small price to pay, not a big deal. We save ourselves some life. Okay, another Burgi, but it's okay. So here's how we do this. We will play Fire Singer. Already, opponents? I guess they've had enough. Okay. Well, they probably saw we were going to try to ritual there, and then once we got Burgi down, that would have been lights out for our opponents. But okay. Not the splashiest victory, but we'll take it, everyone. All right, my fire friends, here we go. Can we use the power of Thor, God of Thunder, to storm off against our opponents? Well, no Thor in hand on this hand, but we do have Burgi still. We have Blazing Fire Extinguisher, Ren's Resolve. Wait, did I say Fire Extinguisher? I don't know why I keep saying that. Someone's going to have to correct me on that at some point. Any case, we still at least have our ways to generate the mana and also draw cards. That's what's important. Okay, opponent is playing with Jengathas, so are they playing a burn deck themselves? Okay. Okay, Vergeland, okay, Grist. Play our Mountain and pass the turn. Okay. Golgari. Nothing yet. Okay, down to 19. Okay, got another Manamorphose. That's not too bad. So from here, we'll do it this way. We'll do the Ren's Resolve first. Want to make sure we can generate the mana we need. Okay, Reckless Impulse. Okay, got a Barbarian Ring. That'll be good. Okay, opponent. Glissa. Okay. Get us to 18. Okay, we great. We got a Ruby Medallion, so that's actually solid. Now we have more or less all of our pieces. So with that, we will play the Reckless Impulse. Okay, get 2 more. Okay, great. And then Reckless Impulse one more time. Ping ourselves here. We just need the mana. That's what we want. Okay, great. Now we have the mana. We just want to make sure we hit our land drops perfectly. In theory, Burgi comes down with the Mountain, finding the... Okay, opponents, finding the Old God, so things are a little bit more expensive again for a bit. But that's okay. Draw a card. We're at 14. We're at 13. Okay, so we'll play the Mountain. I guess we'll just play Burgi instead. Okay, so from that, Manamorphose. Okay, we add mana, generate the mana. Okay, great. Draw another card. And then from here, Blazing Fire Singer in our hand. Generate mana again. Can't do anything yet, but that's okay. At least we'll have what we need. As long as they don't have another Binding in the Old Gods, we should be good, right? Right? Okay, got their Shockland out. Grave Studies. They conjure up a Teacher's Pet. Oh, okay. We have to sacrifice it. Okay. Grave Studies again. Okay. That's dumb. Okay, well, we're at 9. They draw another card. Oh, or they remove counters from Binding the Old Gods. Okay, so I guess we're just going to start looping stuff here. That's fair. Okay, so another Mountain. Now we're kind of in trouble. We have technically what we want, but not quite what we need. Seeding Song. Go to 7. Generate 5 mana. We will Manamorphose. Draw another card. Flick a coin. Ping, draw another card. Okay, we got Roll, which is nice. Ren's Resolve. Okay, so we're trying to rally back here. Okay. He does flip. Okay. Exile 2. Okay, so we got Thor, but is that fast enough? Take out Grist. Gone. Okay. Fire Singer goes. Oh no, Rawl goes. Wait, what was I thinking? Of course they're going to take out that.
Need a safety valve.
So with Glissa's ability, that means that we'll probably start losing everything.
I'm in danger.
Our deck doesn't have that many non-land permanents, so that puts us also in a very rough spot. Deathrite Shaman, then the Fangbearer, so they even got poison too. Shovel. Okay. I feel like this is like a souped up version of the poison deck we did a little while back. Okay, we will take the hit, go to 4. They remove the counters from Binding the Old Gods. So even if Thor comes in next turn, we're still kind of sunk. Play the Mountain. Thor. We can Manamorphose. So we kind of can do something, sort of. We will take out Glissa. Add 2. Ren's Resolve. So even if I don't win here, out of spite, I'm just going to take out Glissa. Okay, so we have some more stuff, but it's probably too little too late. Okay, they attach. I'm guessing they're going to attach to the Fire Singer, because that's the only thing they're going to want me to block with. Watch it. Yep, of course. We tried everybody. Maybe I should have blocked on the last turn just to make sure the Glissa ability didn't go off. Not that it would have mattered. They have enough now where they can just hit us and we will die. Go to 1. But the Deathrite Shaman also can still do its thing too, right? Okay. Yeah, because we have all the instant sorcery, so that kills us no matter what. Okay, well, that was terrible. But I guess that shows you what happens when we can't not get the combo to go off. Did we have fun with that one? No, not really. And there you have it, everybody. So that was Thor's Thunderstorm for the historic format. And you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Honestly, I actually do like what the deck is trying to do, and this honestly feels a lot more consistent and a lot stronger than even the Timeless one we played a couple months ago that kind of didn't really do anything. Having said that, I think this is also a good spot for the Ruby Storm deck with now adding in the additions of Thor and Hex Magic, and it feels really good for the format just because, again, there's a lot of stuff that feels a little bit more balanced here, even if there are disgusting alchemy cards. Having said that, as you saw from our previous match there, if we have a trouble trying to chain everything together, we can fizzle quite easily. So this deck definitely feels like an all or nothing deck. Be aware of that and make sure that you try to sequence together your spells as best as we can. Priority if you have them. Ruby Medallion should go down first, then get down Ral, and if you can afford it, Burgi then comes afterwards. But again, just work with what you got, and you should be able to get at least some sneaky wins out of nowhere against certain opponents out there. Now, if you do like what the deck is trying to do, and actually you do have a couple of extra rares or mythics lying around, if you made it this far into the video, please give a shout out below in the comments because you are my true fiery friends. And in my doing so, I'll be more than happy to show you how you can take this deck to the next level. Now, if you're looking to upgrade the deck and take it to the next level, here's what I'd recommend for you for those upgrades. Honestly, the main part of the deck actually can pretty much stay as is. You don't really need to tweak too much because you want to make sure you can maximize all of your card draw and everything else just to chain everything off. However, the first upgrades you can at least do in the main deck would be, of course, to the mana base. So this may look a little goofy, but hear me out for a second. We're going to remove our other cheaper lands. We're going to throw in Fiery Islets here. So yes, you will have to pay life in order to actually tap for mana, but if you run into awkward situations like we showed earlier, you can sacrifice these Fiery Islets to then draw some extra cards. So this will help you, again, just push out a little bit more out of your deck to make sure you don't fizzle as often. We'll throw in a Silkozin Crucible Defiance if you need something at least to chump block for a hot minute. We'll throw in now an Arena of Glory. We don't have that many creatures in the deck, but if you can exert, say, for example, Thor, that should hopefully allow you to get closer to the finish line if you really need to at least push some combat damage out. Otherwise, the other major upgrades will be in the sideboard itself, so we're going to do a little bit of tweaking, so we'll throw out some of the extra excess copies of other cards we don't need, mostly because we want to focus on keeping the combo consistent. But in case of you do run into things such as life gain, we'll throw in cards like Roiling Vortex here, where we can ping out our opponent every single turn, and if they do manage to try to do anything life-wise, you can then activate it for 1 red mana to turn off life gain in total. We'll throw in copies of Zhao the Moonslayer from the Avatar set. So this is a Menace Human Soldier 2/2 creature, but it makes sure that all non-basic lands enter tapped. Since we're mostly mono-red with all mountains, this actually won't hurt us that bad. And of course, if you manage to get him to 7 mana, then you can put a Conqueror counter on him, which makes all non-basic lands into mountains. And that should be able to lock out a lot of opponents that get very greedy with their mana bases. Keep your Calendar Professionals, as I mentioned earlier, keep your Tormod's Crypts. We'll then add in Chandra Torch of Defiance to the 4-drop slot. So with Chandra here, just helps us again with card draw, pinging out our opponent, and also generating mana when we need to. If you by some miracle manage to get to also -7, she can also be a plan B to the deck if Thor struggles to get to the finish line. Hey my fire friends, real quick last minute edit to this deck tech. I'm sure someone's going to ask me it right now, where is Thor's hammer? And I'm just going to be blunt with you. We tried testing it for the upgraded version and even the budget one. I can't really find a good spot for the card because 1, it's expensive and we're running only a handful of lands compared to our other decks. 2, while it does trigger off well with Thor himself, it's going to cost you too much mana to actually make it effective. So that's the reason why I omitted it from the budget one. If you wanted to throw it in there for flavor purposes, more power to you. But the main reason again is because the way this card is designed, it doesn't give you any major card advantage and it's not efficient enough even for the budget version. So basically take that how you will. Sorry if anybody is disappointed I did not add that in for flavor reasons, but it's up to you, your call if you want to do that for your version of Thor's Thunderstorm. And with that all out of the way, here are my final thoughts that I want to give you on this deck. If you're a fan of spell slinging, if you're a fan of burning out your opponent, and if you're a fan of an established combo deck that puts a little unique twist on it thanks to the latest cards from the latest set, then I would definitely say, give this deck a try. And I assure you, when you manage to sling off a bunch of spells and burn out your opponent with Thor God of Thunder, you're going to have a lot of fun doing so, and you'll be very surprised at how you can pull it off on today's budget. And I assure you, you will definitely not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.